Hello ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of the Pompey Fisherman. A bit different today. My boat's going in the water on Saturday. So today is the 1st of July. Before it goes in the water, I want to try and make a Mackrell Gurdy. Now this could go horrendously wrong. But anyway, so you can come with me while I make all the mistakes, cock it up and make a complete mess. What am I working with? That lot. Various bits of stainless steel tube. Now that I had to buy. That is a Mackrell Gurdy roller. Now, I couldn't afford to buy one because they're 500 quid, like made up already. And also they're made to clamp onto the side of your gunnels. Well, on my gunnels I've got handrails. So, even if I could have afforded to buy one, I would have had to have adapted it because I can't put it on my gunnels. So what I've come up with is this. So what I'm doing, imagine this bit is my gunnel rail. Made stainless steel hoops, which I'll weld to the uprights of the wheel, both sides, so that the unit can slot onto my handrails and then come off of this bracket out to make the rest. So what I'm going to do first is weld them on using an arc welder with stainless steel arc rods, because I ain't got a TIG welder, basically. Can't afford one of them either. But anyway, let's see how we get on. Right, so far we're still at the welding the U-brackets on. Problem with arc welding stainless with stainless rods is, as the stainless cools down, it spits the slag everywhere. So if I try and do too much in one area, it makes the metal expand and contract too much. So I'm having to run a weld, run a bead, then run another bead, then a bead in the middle. But every time I have to wait for the slag to cool down and spit off. So anyway, that's where I'm at the minute. I'll bring you back when they're welded on and the wheel's back on the poles, and we're on to the next bit. It's getting a bit technical now. I've got two workmates out. I wonder if there's manufacturers use two workmates, some 18mm ply. Wouldn't have thought so, would you? God, this is taking forever. Have a look. The buble is in the middle. Almost like I know what I'm doing, isn't it? Right, now I've got to weld that to that, and same the other side, and then that should give me the runoff so that I can put brace across there, then the wheel will go here, which is that one, which is because I couldn't afford 200 quid or whatever it was for the wheel that they sell. What I've basically got is an electrical fence roller. The continuing saga of the Mackrell Gurdy. Got another bit of old stainless steel I had laying around, which was obviously that bit. It was an old handrail at some stage, so I thought better set the wheel about the right height. So that's where I've got to so far, and obviously this got a ratchet on it as well. As I said, that's an electric fence winder, but so far so good. Right, next trick is put a bar across here, longer than that obviously, but one there, and then that let the curtain drop in this gap, and then two uprights which will act as strippers for the mackerel, so the hooks will go through but the mackerel will fall off. So I'll get back to you when I've done a bit more. Instead of having like the other ones have like a piece of metal coming out like a square, what I've done is I've designed it so the plastic can go up and down from here to the spool. I've put another rail in there, and the next step is to put two uprights to strip the mackerel. I'll try to get it level, oh god, fall over the stainless, with the bottom of the reel, so that when it comes over the top of here, underneath there, it'll strip them off here and fall in the middle. So I've adjusted everything, changed everything, so it's a totally sort of different design to the ones I've seen for sale. It's all stainless. So yeah, instead of having like a little square or oblong bit of wire with a gap in the middle for the plastic to feed through, mine will come up here on that stainless steel bar between that tube and that bar, and then go up to the reel. Whether it'll work I don't know. As I say, I've designed it so it hooks onto my gunnels, my rails, and then here I'll tap a thread in that, so I'll put a bolt through so it will go underneath and stop it jumping off the rail. Not that I think it will anyway, but yeah. So that's the Pompey Fisherman version to date. I'll be back when I've got the uprights and that in. Right, cock up number one. What I did was I welded these on the stripper poles, and I centralised them to this here. Because it's an old scrap bit, and I didn't realise it had a bend in it, so I've had to cut that, as it sat, swerved off. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, the long and the short of it is, it made the winding wheel off to one side. So now the plan is, I'll burn myself trying to pick this up. It's hot. Now the plan is, he says, trying to get hold of it, is to weld that on there so it's straight, and then bolt the wheel to that, because I've cut that off the straightest bit of this old scrap stainless pipe I've got, to try and line up that with the middle of them. So at the moment I'm sweating my gonads off and made a mistake. In a bit. Right, I'm at the, when you start saying and wish you hadn't, I'm at that stage. Now the strippers line up with the wheel, and this abomination here is what I've had to do to make it line up with the wheel. And the worst part of it is there probably ain't no mackerel in the solan anyway, so, but you know, I don't know, what am I doing? Will it work? We'll find out next week, won't we? All I've got to do now, all I've got to do, saying, is put a leg on the back. Oh, what an absolute kibosh. Never mind. Well, it's getting there. Beginning to resemble a Mackrell Gurdy. I use a plate there and then brace it. I've made some clips there so that it can go underneath the gunnels when the gunnel goes through there, and I've also had to put slots in the top because I want to be able to take the wheel off when I'm not using it. And what I've got left to do is make a leg from here down 35 inches, and she'll be, run her up with line, run the plastic on her, run the hooks on her, she'll be done for princely sum of 200 quid and 2 days messing around, which is 300 quid cheaper because I didn't have 500 quid. So at any rate, once it's all completely assembled, I'll give you one last look, and then the next time you'll see it, I'll be on the boat using it, hopefully.